Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. This will be a D&D campaign update for my campaign that I've been running. The players last Sunday, they started in the town that they just made it to, so they started gathering resupply from what little bit of money they got from the first adventure. And from here they are exploring a little bit of the town, getting to know a few things that are going on, finding out what trade goods are traded really well. This town needs iron ore and coal as the major things they need because they are the major producers of iron weapons, armor, and just iron objects. So the party finds that out, so they know they can trade that for a little bit bigger of a profit in this town if they get a hold of any of it. They also find a group of dwarves that just made it into town that are trying to gather a couple of adventurers to protect them on their trip to another town or a village that used to have a coal mine, and they're going to go there to see if they can dig around and find coal. And I already had that town built. If you watch any of my Dungeon World videos, when I was doing villages and towns and stuff, one of them, like the very first one, the small one, would be the example that I'm going to use in this game. And the way Dungeon World builds the towns was very simple. So if you're interested, I recommend getting Dungeon World, or at least watching those videos and getting an idea how they build a town. It's a lot less number oriented, unlike D&D. So, and I keep saying D&D, but we're in Pathfinder First Edition. Also, the paladin in the party interacted with the clerics in town, and they were making fun of his size, calling him puny man and stuff, because the clerics in town were the worshippers of Cord, so most of them look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and the bodybuilders of that era. So it was just very entertaining. The party then decides that they're going to go back and try to hunt down the goblin priest of Hextor and get their revenge, take him out. So they head back to that town. Out of those dwarves they talked to, they acquired 4 of their warriors, quote unquote. They're not very well equipped. I think I had them wearing studded leather armor. They're carrying large shields. They have a one-handed war pick, and they have throwing axes. So the party jumps into their travel. That they have almost no encounter on the travel, and they head back to the village. That village that the goblins are holding, that abandoned village, they go to the graveyard because that was the closest spot to them, and then they enter the dungeon, and they explore the dungeon and see if anything's changed. The only major thing that's changed is their encounter room, the final encounter they had before they retreated with the rescued civilians. That room, the statue's been put back up, and it looks like it's been glued back together. And the altar's gone because it was crushed. And then all the bodies that were in the room have been removed. They explore a little bit more. They begin going through the underground dungeon some more, and they find the next exit, which was the tower. They come out and they have a few goblins and a few hobgoblins that are asleep in the first floor of the tower. As I remember, and I could be wrong because it's been almost a week since we played, they dispatched them while they were asleep pretty quickly. At some point, the paladin I don't know if it was one of these guys or another group that they fought. At some point, the paladin's trying to get information, so he starts using his branding iron to hurry along some information out of him. He ends up getting a black mark from his god for that. And I told him once he has enough black marks equal to his spellcasting modifier for a paladin, he loses his paladin powers until he does his quest or whatever to get them restored. So they get a little bit of information from the goblin or hobgoblin, don't remember which he was torturing, and then they dispatch him. They explore the whole tower. They find a few things on top of the tower, a ballista, a pot with water in it, I think, and it was like a big cauldron, and there's a bunch of murder holes and stuff. I want to say they took care of whatever was outside the tower, but I don't remember for sure. So, my fellow players, if you can reiterate what happened around the tower in the comments below, I would appreciate it. But as far as I remember, that's pretty much where the game ended, was just this tower. And that was a lot of exploring, a lot of them being careful. Also, they triggered a few traps in the underground, as I remember it, but I could be wrong. So there was a few more traps they encountered. And the dwarves, I don't believe they had any encounters where the dwarves had a fight, like really seriously fight yet. So that was interesting. Well, that's what happened in the campaign. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. Until we all game again, guys.